Hello everyone, hope that you're all doing well. Welcome to today's yoga practice. This is our longer session and we're going to be focusing on the theme that we've been running through the last month or so, and it's going to be that self-study. We're looking again at some of the concepts from the Bhagavad Gita, and a really nice one that looks at what are some of the really nice qualities, divine qualities, that we can start to develop within us in a yoga practice, and thinking about how we can use these to live a happy, more fulfilling life. So please grab whatever's going to help you in the practice today. If you have got a belt, we will use a belt for a little bit of the leg stretching. So a belt or something that will resemble a belt. Just place it quite close to you as well, so that when we do the little bit of centering after that, we will need that. So we'll start off lying down on the floor. So just moving whatever you don't need out of the way for a moment. And just come all the way down onto your space. And just take a moment just to check in with the body as we first come down. Just start to notice maybe how the back's feeling today. Be aware of what's going on in the legs and the hips. Start to become aware of the shoulders and how they're feeling today. Just maybe simply acknowledging the weight of the body as it comes down towards the earth. You can either have your legs bent or legs lengthened for a few moments. And just see if you can really notice the contact with the body that it's making down in towards the earth. And just start to feel that essence of starting to become present, tuning into the moment, starting to just watch and follow the breath, just being aware of how that feels right now. And your choice, you can either keep the legs bent or you can lengthen out the legs, or if it feels okay for the hips, we'll start off bending the legs and taking the soles of the feet together, and just take a moment just to judge where it's going to feel nice for the hips, where it's going to work for the back. Once you feel nice and settled, make sure your chin's tucked in slightly. You've got a little bit of space between the body and the arms. And then keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. If it works, we're going to place one hand onto the belly, it doesn't matter which one, and the other hand into the centre of the chest, and try and relax your shoulders. If you need to release the hands at any time, bring them down to the side. That's absolutely fine. And just begin to let the eyes close, or a soft gaze. And without forcing or controlling the breath at all yet, just start to be aware of that space where your hands are. And just start to tune into that gentle rise and fall of the breath. Just starting to make that connection as if we're just easing into it. No rush, no hurry, no strain at all. We're just staying with that natural rise and fall of the breath. Just see if you can let go of any tension, any tightness, any gripping or holding into the body on every exhale. Maybe just start to feel yourself becoming very present, very aware with every inhale. Feeling that breath, just that simple awareness to the breath is our anchor from here. Whatever goes on, whatever happens to us, we can always come back to that anchor, feeling grounded, feeling rooted, feeling present. Then if it works, as you breathe in, you can start to control that breath, nice gentle breath, feeling how the front of the body and the belly rises. And as you exhale, feel that sense of being able to let go and release. Feeling that fullness as the inhale starts to happen, belly starts to rise. And the exhale, that chance just to soften and let go. As we breathe in through the nose, we feel that the body lifts towards our hands. And as we exhale, the hands are starting to descend into the body. Feeling that inhale, the body moves towards the hands. And the exhale, the hands descending down into the body. So just carrying on with that for a few more moments. And I'm just going to read that really nice passage from the Bhagavad Gita. So it's really one that I'd recommend you to read. You can get a lot from it. You can always go back to read it. So these divine qualities that they say to us that we can start to develop or we should start to hold. So they say in the section in the chapter 16, which is called Two Paths. And it says, Krishna says to Arjuna, be fearless and pure. Never wavering your determination or your dedication to the spiritual life. Give freely. Be self-controlled, sincere, truthful, loving, and full of the desire to serve. Realise the truth of the scriptures. Learn to be detached and take joy in renunciation. Do not get angry or harm any living creature, but be compassionate and gentle. Show goodwill to all. Cultivate vigour, patience, will, purity. Avoid malice and pride. Then, Arjuna, you will achieve your divine destiny. So just feeling that where our hands and our arms are extensions of our heart centre. So just feeling this light pressure of the hands in contact with the body starts to allow that development of just feeling love and compassion for ourselves. And once we develop it there, then we can extend it further out to who we meet in the world. Just a few more breaths from here. Just being present simply with the body and the breath right now. And then making this your last one. When you're ready, just slowly allow the hands to release. You can keep the feet where they are for a moment. If you can, just cross your thumbs and take a nice stretch out with the arms from here. And just notice how that allows the front of the body just to open a little bit more. Feel the muscles that are just gently starting to stretch out in between your rib cage. Maybe be aware of how this arches the back a little bit more, how you feel the back is moving away from the earth. And then release the hands. You can take the back of the hands onto the floor. If your legs are still in Baddha Konasana, just bend them and give them a nice stretch out from here, stretching the legs away. And then just see if you can start to find a little bit of softness by relaxing your shoulders back and down, drawing a little bit into the navel, spreading the toes, and just feeling this awareness of just being grounded right now, just being present, always coming back to what we're doing in the moment. And then slowly release. You can bend your legs, you can hug your knees in towards the chest. Take a moment just to draw them in and maybe just rocking gently from side to side. And I always find those first few moments, these movements, are as if we're just starting to get to know how the body's feeling right now. We're being gentle, we're being compassionate. Some of those concepts that are talked about in that Bhagavad Gita. Let your hands come to the knees and just draw in some circles with your knees. And just start to feel maybe that nice feeling of getting into any tight bits of your back. Maybe noticing where you hold any tightness or those tight spots. And circling out in that other direction from here. Just taking your feet to the floor, let them just come as wide as your mat, and we'll just release the hips in a few twists. So either take the arms to a T shape or cactus the arms. Breathing in and breathing out, knees drop to the right, head turns to the left. Just hold it there, a couple of breaths. Use the exhales just to keep softening and releasing. And then coming back to the centre, inhaling as we breathe out over towards that left side, head turning to the right. And do a few more in your own time. You might decide to keep it quite slow, allowing a few breaths on each side. Or you might decide to work it more dynamically, just moving from side to side with the breath. Just really try and check out what feels good right now so that we stay in the moment. We're not necessarily wanting to achieve to be anywhere in the posture, just being more mindful. Maybe just starting to let the energy just wake up gently around the joints. Make this your last one and then come back, hug the nose in towards the chest. So take the feet to the floor. You're going to reach round and grab hold of your belt, which I didn't place around my side, but I'll grab it now. And unravel your belt, and we'll do the right leg. So you're going to bend your right knee towards you. Keep your other leg bent just for support at the moment. So once it's unravelled out, take your belt around the ball of the foot from here. Both bits of the belt into each hand, allowing that leg gently to lift up towards the sky. And just start to slide your hands gently down the belt to the point that you feel that you can relax into your shoulders. And just hold it there and just breathe for a few breaths. Keep the other leg bent on the floor. And just notice how that feels. So we're not worrying about completely straightening the leg. We might feel a little bit of movement. We might find a little bit of shaking. We're not going to judge ourselves in this pose. If we need to bend it more, then just do what feels good. As then we can start to just work on the calmness of the mind. You might find after a few breaths that the muscles start to relax more. You can go and straighten your left leg if that works for the back today. And just keep breathing from here. Maybe we bend the arms slightly towards us. We want to come back to the calmness of the breath. No tension in the shoulders, no tension in the face. We can start to feel just the feeling of gentleness through this posture. We'll turn it into that hip opener, both bits of the belt into your right hand. You can keep the left leg lengthened, or you can bend it. Plant the hands, left hand on top of that leg or the thigh, just to keep a little bit of weight down into that leg. And taking your time, slowly start to open out to the side. Do it nice and slow without forcing. Maybe as if you was just doing bit by bit, maybe inch by inch, just seeing how that feels and how we allow our breath to release into that. We're not worrying how far that leg's coming down. We want to stay rooted with that other leg from here. Just a couple of breaths from here. And then slowly, bit by bit, which is a little hard as well, bring it back inch by inch. Start to take it all the way back towards the sky. Both hands are going around the belt just for a few breaths. Notice how that feels. Maybe the leg moves towards you. And then releasing, you're going to just bend that leg for a few moments, hugging that knee in towards the chest, shoulders nice and relaxed. And then releasing that right leg, so you can either take it to the floor or bending the legs. Just pause for a moment. Just see if you can feel what it feels like, that act of surrendering. Just letting go, totally absorbing what you've just done now onto that right side. And then slowly you can bend your legs again. The left leg is going to come in. We'll hook the belt around your left leg this time. And same thing, just taking our time, making sure that the hands are starting to slide down the belt. maybe so that the back of the shoulders come down to the floor. Then we're able to hold it for a little bit longer and thinking about calmness and kindness and a sense of compassion that we're having for the stretch and the muscles around the back of that leg. Same thing again, you can either just keep that right foot planted down to the floor, enjoying stability, or you can start to stretch that right leg out from here. And use your breath, see if you can use the breath to soften more. Even as you breathe in, maybe feel that you're sending this breath and the intention that lies behind your breath to gently open up into the muscles in the legs from here. A few more rounds of breath, the face stays soft and relaxed. And then we'll take both bits of the belt into your left hand, right hand on the right leg, and you can bend it or keep it lengthened. And taking your time, just go bit by bit as if you was inch by inch, seeing how that feels as you start to take the leg out. A bit like that theme that we had last week as well, about not being attached, the week before, not being attached to things, letting go of any attachment to where that leg is in regards to the floor from here, so that you start to find that peace, that calmness of the mind. So taking that time, bit by bit again, start to just take that leg back again, bit by bit. So we're slowing down, we're being controlled, a sense of self-control, another thing that they talk about in the Bhagavad Gita. Both bits of the belt into both hands again, either keeping the leg just lifted where it is, or maybe bend the arms. That leg might encourage towards you. Have you got that calm breath? Check in, find your anchor of your breath in this posture, and then slowly release. You can just take the belt away, just place it over to the side for now. And then from here, hug your left knee in towards the chest. So bend the knee, draw it towards you just for a few breaths. Shoulders stay nice and relaxed. And then releasing that left leg, we're going to take it down to the floor. Again, just feel what it feels like to surrender. Just let go. Feel the benefits of what you've just done. Don't be in too much of a hurry to miss them. Just be there, just breathe. And then let yourself slowly bend both legs, hugging them both in towards the chest this time. And either rolling over to one side or taking hands behind the back of the legs, maybe cross the ankles. If it works, you can do a few of these spinal rolls or just rolling over, coming all the way up to seated. And then take a few moments just to find your seat, find your connection to the earth from here. You're going to just take your fingertips out to the side. We'll take a nice inhale, we'll raise the arms, you can look up, palms together. And as you breathe out, guiding your hands back in towards the chest. We'll do 3 more rounds. Inhale to lift. Exhale, palms towards the chest. Inhale to lift. And exhale, palms towards the chest. We'll do 1 more. Inhale to lift. And exhale, hands towards the chest. So keep the hands crossed, legs crossed if that still feels all right, or lengthen them if you need to. I'm going to just stay nice and lifted for a few breaths. Feel your connection with the sit bones in towards the earth. Taking the fingertips out to the front, and we're going to slowly start to walk forward. And you can take a bit of a movement as you just start to move from side to side from here, easing into the hip joints. So not being in too much of a rush to come forward. Being compassionate of the back. Make sure that the back feels all right. And then once you feel you've reached that spot where it feels okay to hold, you can either stay lifted for a few breaths, plugging your hands in towards the earth, arms lifted, just looking down or lowering the head. Either stay here, you can always bend the arms, take elbows down, let your head slowly release down from here. And then nice and slowly lifting the head, taking our time to slowly come all the way back from here. Letting your feet drop to one side, and we'll come all the way up to a sitting on your heels position. So from here, we're going to come up onto our knees. So if you've got any issues going on with your knees today, grab as much padding as you need to. If you find it really doesn't work on the knees, we can always do again cross-legged or lengthening out the legs. So you want them just separated slightly from here. We're going to do a nice movement with the arms, with the breath. So the arms, hands are connected to the heart centre. They bring a sense of joy and compassion in. So what you're going to do is, as you inhale, you're going to raise the arms, the palms start to lift up. You lift the chest from here. And as you breathe out, we'll do it slow on the first one, bending, you're going to take your arms across as if you're hugging yourself, and then taking the head down to the floor. And then as you inhale, you'll have to draw a little bit of core strength in as you lift up, sending your arms up, palms lift up, you can look up. As you breathe out, crossing the arms, if you're going to just hug yourself from here, bringing your head back down to the floor. And doing it in your own time, you might do it nice and slow, or you might start to find your own rhythm of the breath from here. So just taking your time and knowing that if you need to stop, if you need to come out, just come out and rest. Just feeling this feeling of just being dedicated into this pose, dedicated with the breath and the qualities of being lifted as you inhale. Feeling those qualities of being grounded as you release. We'll do a couple more in your own time, in your own breath. It's a nice one as well to wake up the body a bit as well. If you're feeling a bit tired, that inhale just starts to enliven you a little bit more. Make this your last one. And then last time, as you come down, this time you can release the hands and we'll come into your traditional child's posture. So you can release the knees if you need to, and then coming all the way down to the floor. Let your head rest from here. Nice, long, slow breaths. And as you breathe, try to direct your breath into any tightness around the back. If you notice it, send that attention there. So you feel that we can use the breath as a form of just healing. We're disciplined with the breath. We're trying to stay present so that we feel this sense of calmness and ease in our postures. Great, and then slowly allow yourself to come all the way back to the all fours. We'll do a couple of rounds of our cat stretches, so spreading the hands, knees underneath the hips. So an inhale, lifting your tailbone, the front of the body and the head lifts. As you breathe out, rounding over, gazing back through the legs. We'll come through again, inhale to lift. And exhale to round over. Last one, inhale to come through. And exhale to round over. We're going to come back to the all fours. We're going to allow ourselves to do some nice movements with your right arm. So the right arm can just move forward from here. And then as you breathe out, you're going to bring some weight back towards the heels. You're going to start to lift that right arm up. And then inhale, reach it forward. So you breathe out, coming back. And inhale, sweeping it up and forward. We'll do it a few times in your own time. Just gently waking up that shoulder joint. Just feeling grounded, staying present with the breath. Do last one from here. The next time that the arm comes forward, bring it back to the all fours. We'll do the same on the other ones. You might creep it forward first. Coming back to child's pose. And then inhale, lifting it up, drawing it forward. As you breathe out, coming back, drawing it back. Use your inhale to lift it up, exploring your range of movement from here. Do a few more in your own time. Use that inhale to help that arm lift up. Make this your last one. So the next time that your arm lifts forward, bring it back to the all fours. Reposition the hands, wrists underneath the shoulders. Going to tuck your toes under, lifting up into our downward dog. Take a moment just to walk out with the heels from here. And then taking some weight back towards the legs. Try to press down with your base of your index finger and your thumb a little bit more so you stay nice and plugged in from here. And just focus, be dedicated to your breath in this posture. Know that if your legs are uncomfortable, be true to yourself in the pose. If you need to bend them, just bend them. Don't judge yourself for bending the legs. Just do what you need to do and spend a few moments from here. And then slowly going to lift your right leg, allow your right leg to lengthen up and away. Give it a press out with the heel. You're going to bend your right leg. You're going to draw that right foot in between the hands. We'll move up to warrior. So you're going to plant your back foot to the floor. Going to slowly lift up and you can adjust your feet. So if you find, this is one that if you find that your hips feel too tight or unstable, with that back foot, just take it more out towards that longer side of the mat. It might give you a nice feeling in your hips. So you're going to allow yourself to lift up. I'm going to do a few breaths from here. Let me just move a little bit so I've got enough room. So you're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to keep the leg bent. You're going to come over the leg and you're going to take your arms as if you're folding the arms behind you, giving yourself a bit of a hug, not behind, underneath and looking down. Plug into both feet. Use your inhale to rise up. And exhale, folding over the legs. You're going to give yourself a hug. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, plug into the feet. Use that energy to rise up. And exhale, bends in, crossing the arms, just looking down. We'll do one more. Inhale to lift up. Exhale. We're going to stay down for a few breaths. Just keeping the gaze down just for a moment. You're going to allow yourself to take the hands either side of the foot. You can come onto the toes of the back foot. Step back into a plank posture or your half plank posture for a few breaths. Just stay steady with the breath, dedicated with the breath while you're here. Feeling that we enhance ourselves of self-discipline, being dedicated in the pose. Come down to the all fours. Come back to child's pose from here. You're going to lift up, coming forwards. You're going to lower your hips, bending your arms, come all the way down to the floor. Hands underneath the shoulders, looking down. Press your feet in, press the hips in. Slowly as you inhale, lifting up. Just do a little way baby cobra maybe first of all. And then slowly lower down. We'll do another round. So press your feet in. As you inhale, slowly start to feel a sense of compassion to the back as well. As we lift up, we're not just throwing our body in postures. We're being kind, we're being gentle still at the same time. Slowly lower back down. You can either do Sphinx or Cobra, or you might like to explore taking your arms nice and wide. You might even take them off the mat. Come up onto the fingertips. If you've got hypermobile fingers, don't do it. You're going to keep the hands down. And look again, and look down as if you was just peeling the spine. You might even do a bit of a swaying, gentle moving, just to ease into the back from here. Lifting up, sending your heart forwards. And then slowly lower down. You might do the same bit, taking our time to come all the way back down, staying dedicated to the postures. Hands underneath your shoulders. Press back to the all fours. Tuck the toes under. Sending ourselves back into downward dog and holding it there for a few breaths. Let yourself really tap into the qualities of being truthful to yourself in the poses. Really big theme that it keeps mentioning in the Bhagavad Gita about truthfulness. So if it's not working for the legs, we just bend them. We don't need to judge ourselves for doing so. Letting your left leg lift away, a few breaths. And then bending that leg, stepping that foot in between the hands. taking the back foot and planting it, turning it, taking it to the floor and lifting up. Again, feel free if you need to take that foot more to that long side of the mat, go ahead and do that. Just feel grounded first of all, so we're not thinking about anything else yet apart from just grounding down with the feet, feeling our base, letting our foundations rise from the feet into the body. We'll lift up and we'll use that inhale, lifting up. You can gaze up if it's good. And then breathing out, same thing, bending, coming forward, taking the arms, crossing them underneath. Bringing inhale, feel that you send it all the way up into the chest and that heart with that inhale. And then breathing out, bending over from here. We'll do a couple more. Inhale to lift, really plug down with the feet. Exhale, still stay rooted as we come back down. Do one more. Inhale to lift. And then breathing out. We'll hold that breath out for a few rounds. And just feeling as if you was just giving yourself a bit of kindness with the hands in towards this hug. Maybe breathing into your upper back as well. And then slowly release your hands. You can swivel on that back foot, so you're back to a lunge. You can come back to your plank position from here. You're going to bring your knees down, release the feet, hips down. We're going to send ourselves up into Cobra or Sphinx, and you're going to hold it there for a few breaths. Find that divine quality of kindness, gentleness, non-judging, as we just breathe and be aware of the heart centre. We'll press back to the all fours, come back to downward dog, adjusting with the feet if we need to. A few breaths from here. Bending the legs, we're going to step forward in between the hands. Hands on the hips, lifting up, coming all the way up. We'll take straightforward fold from here. So inhale, lifting up. You can bring the palms together. You might gaze up. And breathing out, hands towards the chest, folding over the legs, hands to the shins. We'll take an inhale, lifting up halfway. And exhale, softening and fold. Bend the legs, sweeping up, feeling really dedicated with this breath as we feel. We just offer something up. As we lift up, we can gaze up. And breathing out, hands down towards the chest. We'll do one more. Inhale to lift up. And exhale, soften the knees, hinging forward, coming into that forward fold. Hands on the shins. Inhale, lifting up halfway. And then exhale, soften and fold. Bend the legs, take a nice inhale. So lifting all the way up as if you're offering something up, lifting that chest, palms together. And as you breathe out, hands back down towards your chest, the heart centre. Let your hands release. Take a few just gentle shoulder rolls from here. And shoulder rolls forward. We're going to take a balance from here. We're going to take a eagle balance. But a little bit of a variation in the arms. Rather than taking a real fold of the arms, we're going to hug ourselves to turn it into a bit of a compassionate eagle pose, which is really nice. So if you need a block or something to place your foot on for your balance, you can do that. We'll take over to the right side. If you don't want to do the legs, we can swap them for chair legs. That's no problem. We're going to take your left leg and we're going to take it over, crossing it over the right from here. The arms are going to come out and then we're going to hug ourselves. So the right arm is going to move over the top of the left arm and we're going to hug ourselves from here, just to the point that feels really good. And take a moment to stay dedicated to the pose. So feeling your roots connected to the earth. You might sink a little bit lower. You might stay exactly where you are. You might stay where you are from here, or you might even take a bit of a lowering down, whatever feels good. And just feeling that sense of kindness and compassion to yourself while you're in here. Let it just start to develop into that posture. And then lifting up, we'll take a lift up, release the arms, take your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. And reach the arms out, send the chest forward, have a good stretch from here. And then breathing out, releasing the arms. Going to step back to the centre. If you found your block was handy, take it all the way over to the other side. So either chair pose legs or taking your right leg and crossing it over, either using your block or doing the cross with the legs from here. And then this time it's going to be your left arm is going to go over your right arm. And then you're going to take your fingertips to the back or the sides of the body. And it might just feel nice just to send that breath where your hands are, as if you're inviting a sense of space and ease, feeling in the moment with the breath, with the body. You can bend a little bit lower if it did well. You might stay more lifted, or you might start to release further down. Take a few breaths, stay grounded with the feet. Then lifting up, slowly release. You can step the feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Reach the arms out of a really nice stretch from here. And then slowly release the arms. Step the feet back to the centre. If you used your block, just move it out of the way for now. Let your feet be a few inches apart from here. We're going to interlock the fingers, index finger pressing and your thumbs crossing. We're going to slowly start to lift the arms up from here, taking our time, making sure that it works for the shoulders, rooting down with the feet, drawing into the navel. Just start to feel a sense of strength. So before we've even done a side stretch, we feel our foundations, we're rooted. We're staying in the moment, we're not jumping ahead. Inhale as you breathe out, sides bend, stretch towards the right side. And then inhale, use that to come back. Keep rooting down with the feet. As you breathe out, keep rooting down with the feet, drawing in with the navel over to that left side. And then inhaling, coming back to the centre. Go one more over towards that right side, stay rooted. And then coming all the way back to the centre. And one more over towards that left side. And coming back to the centre. Releasing the hands. Let them just move into cactus arms as we move our shoulder blades back and down. Hands on the hips. We're going to stay in the long side of the mat now. We're going to open out your feet from here into a high stance, a horse stance position. So we're going to turn your feet out from here. You're going to bend into the legs from here. Navel draws in. Adjust your feet as much as you need to so that the knees are roughly stacking over your ankle. Good position from here. One hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. Take a few moments to find that breath. Like we did at the beginning of the class, as we breathe in, feel the body moving up to meet the hands. And as you breathe out, feel the hands descending down towards the body. Breathing in, feel the body moving up into the hands. And as you breathe out, feel the hands descending down into the body. One more in your own time, own breath. And then slowly release, hands on the hips, turn the feet so both feet are facing to the front. We're going to hinge forward, we're going to come forward, maybe sliding our hands down our legs from here, allowing the crown of the head to become nice and heavy. If you can, just soften a little bit more into the knees and the back of the knees so we're able to lift your sit bones a little bit higher. And just feel the trueness of the pose, so we feel steadiness, we feel ease. We're not bouncing, we're not jerking in the movements. We feel just this pure essence of being still, being disciplined with the breath and the body. Slowly lift up, hands on the hips, come all the way back. We'll do one more, turn the feet out again. So turning the feet out, ready for that high squat. This time you're going to interlock fingers. We'll do that, what we did in the sides bend stretch, the Kali Mudra. Index finger pressing, thumbs are crossing. And we're going to reach the arms up from here. And this is a nice feeling when you have your hands in this position as well. You're starting to generate a feeling of strength and being disciplined to stay on your journey. You can just keep breathing from here, maybe feel a bit of warmth around the belly area or the fire that you might be feeling, that you feel around the thighs that are starting to work to keep you steady. You know, either spend a few more breaths here, just be careful of your knees, your ankles. If it did work, you might explore lifting one heel. If it did work, you might explore lifting the other heel. And feeling again just that feeling of discipline and strength from here. If you've lifted the heels, slowly take them back down from here. Hands come towards your chest, the heart. Press your palms together. As you press the hands together, just start to lengthen the legs. Feet to the front, heel toe your feet back together and step to the front of your mat. Separate the feet. Take a nice inhale to lift up. You can look up again if it works. As you breathe out, hinging forward, folding over the legs from here. A few breaths. Try to find the true essence of your posture, of softening and releasing and letting go. Crown of the head is nice and heavy. And then allowing your legs to bend so we can take a sit back onto the bottoms with the legs extended out. We're going to reach the arms out and you're going to roll all the way down to the floor. Bit by bit, starting to come down. Hugging the knees in towards the chest, taking a gentle rock from side to side. Now reach the arms out to the side. You can keep your knees tucked into your chest or take the feet to the floor. Allow your knees to drop to the right side, letting your head slowly turn towards that left side. And just stay there with the calmness of the breath. Feeling any tension in the back, just gently releasing away into this twist. And then coming all the way back, inhale, and as you breathe out, knees to your left, head slowly turns towards the right. Just a few breaths from here. And then coming all the way back to the centre. Taking your feet to the floor and keep the legs bent. There's a little bit of support from here. You can always have your knees rolling in. You're going to take one hand onto the belly again. One hand into the chest. Do release your hands if you're not comfortable. Slight tucking of the chin. Just focus on your breath again. Without controlling your breath, just simply start to notice how your breath, just gently, the inhale rises up, the body starts to move closer towards your hands. And that exhale, how your hands start to descend into the body from here. Just doing a few more, feeling that nice feeling of expansion, space, and being able to let go. Just take this moment to invite more compassion, more love into your own life from here, into yourself, being kind and compassionate for yourself. You might like to just take a moment to think about a person who means a lot to you and send some of that love and compassion to that person. Feeling the energy that radiates out through the heart centre. And the hands and the arms being extensions of that. So bring some good thoughts to that person who you thought of. Maybe allowing yourself to think of someone who maybe you have a relationship that struggles a bit. It's sometimes quite hard to get along with this person, or it might be someone who you've had an argument with in the past. Just see if you can send some love and compassion to them right now. One of the most powerful things that we can hold as well is the thing about being able to forgive. Maybe just for a moment, using that, sending some love and compassion to that person so that you feel as well lighter and you let more love in. And finally, sending this feeling of love and compassion out into the world to whoever who might need it right now, all beings everywhere. Take one more nice full breath in. And then as you breathe out, slowly let the arms release. And let your arms stretch out from here behind you. You can go ahead and lengthen the legs again if that does feel nice. Take a moment just to ease away any tightness by just maybe moving for a bit of a stretch. Inhale as you breathe out, bring the arms down by the sides of the body. Let your legs slowly bend. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Take a gentle rock from side to side. And roll over onto the right side of the body. Taking your time to come all the way up into a nice, easy seated place. Just letting your palms come together. Bring your hands in towards the heart centre. Allow your practice to seal by just bringing this awareness again to the divine qualities that you hold within you. Let them shine brightly. Let yourself connect to them more. Inhale as you breathe out. Let your head bow down towards your hands. Keep the head down. Let the eyes slowly start to blink open. And as you inhale, lift your head, lift your heart. Namaste. Have a lovely rest of the day, and I hope that you enjoyed that.